10-ish minutes, and then take questions as well.
Actually,
6 is what I've been told.
6 minutes.
Okay. All right.
So if we have the time, I'll let you.
I put out, and I have this one, so I keep.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Dr. Randy Short. I am here before you, distinguished members of the Statehood Green Party, to make you aware, don't worry about it, I've got the other one on. It's all right. To make you aware that I
Take a step back.
take a step back.
And then
Come this way.
this way.
Come this way.
Yes, go over there by him.
There you go. Stop.
Perfect, perfect,
Okay.
perfect.
Repeat myself.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the Washington, D.C. Statehood and Green Party. I'm Dr. Randy Short. I am a D.C. native. I came here with my mother, the woman with the green hat on, and now is a new Green Party member. I come from generations of Washingtonians. In fact, through my mother's family, I'm a descendant of the original Piscataway people who were here 10, 15,000 years ago. So my roots go here perhaps deeper than most. I feel very passionately about what the Green Party is trying to do. I've worked in various parties and various campaigns over the last, say, 30, 40 years, going back to Spalding, Walter Fauntroy. We did some work for Hilda Mason, did work for Carol Schwartz. I worked on 3 of her campaigns. And I've also worked for Ray Zapata, if you're familiar with her. I've done this consistently from the time I was a teenager to now, typically to help people. I come from a family of ministers, teachers, and community people. My grandfather, James Short Sr., was running for offices in the 1950s here in Washington. That's how far back people in my lineage here have done, and I'm not resting on family. I just wanted to let you know there are many people that are here in Washington that are new, and they don't know that there are people who've actually been doing the right thing, that have been concerned, that have been involved. Take my mother, was president for the PTA of Shaw Junior High School and McKinley Senior High School, which I attended both. So I was trained in DC Public Schools. I was president for the PTA for about 10 years for 2 schools. Now, I'm here today for a very simple reason. I let you know I've grown up here, my family, my roots have been here. I'm really concerned about the lack of participatory democracy here in the District of Columbia. There's a reason why I had no problem when someone reached out to me and said, think about the Green Party as a place that you could bring your passion. I'm very unhappy with the Democrats. Tried the Republicans, they failed me too. The only time I felt like I had a vote in the last 10 years that was relevant was when I was in the Green Party of Tennessee. And if you think it's hard being green here, you should try West Tennessee. I was an elector for the Green Party for the presidential election in 2008. And no, I did not vote for Barack Obama. I supported the Green Party. And that was my first experience. And to this day, when someone called me and said the Green Party, it's like, yes, they're small enough for people to dismiss, but powerful enough to make fundamental change. You know, it's an atom. If you split an atom, you can get a major explosion. If the energy of the Green Party, the Statehood Green Party, is unleashed, we can change not only the city, but we can change the world. In Europe, the Green Party is making a difference. We could do the same thing here. We've got Donald Trump, George Wallace 2.0, the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party. If you aren't scared, maybe you should look like me. You've got Hillary Clinton, a little better but a warmonger. How are we going to fight 1.5 billion Muslims? How are we going to be angry with everyone? This country's tired of war. The beautiful thing that I love about this Green Party, I'll be done in a second, brother, is that you believe in participatory democracy, human rights, civil rights, and in particular, living in D.C., statehood. It's always frustrated me when I was a student. I have 4 degrees. I went to UVA, got a master's there, almost ABD, went to Harvard, got an MDiv there. I did 2 degrees at Howard University, our local big
That's five
HBCU.
degrees.
And when it came down to getting grants or scholarships or things that other students could have, or to go on trips because you had a congressional delegation, when you were a Washingtonian, it was like apartheid. There was never anything for you because we're not represented. And the mind of a person that we looked up to, who's a close family friend and cousin, Hilda Mason, she always made the case that DC will never change until we have the same rights as everyone else. The American Revolution was fought because of taxation without representation. Well, that's here all these years. And I even did my master's thesis at UVA on the early history of the District of Columbia. And it's over 200 years of no democracy for residents here, no matter what their color. So I want to represent you. I am saying today that I want to and declare myself a write-in candidate for at-large for the City Council. I believe that if more than one of us is doing that, we can attract more attention to the party. I might be younger than my opponents, and I think that the demographics of this city would benefit by the Green Party showing its diversity in our primary. There's some issues that are very clear to me that I'm quite outraged about. Tomorrow, Muriel Bowser, our mayor, is going to present her markup or her proposal for our Constitution in a very top-down, insensitive approach that overlooks sacrifices of Hilda Mesa and Florence Pendleton, another family friend. We went to the meetings in the 80s for DC to have statehood. That work shouldn't be ignored. And yet this move, we don't even know what's in it. And that's going to be put before us. And next month we have 2 days without the city fully being involved in a struggle that's gone on for all these years. If they don't get enough people to vote for this, they're going to say, you guys really don't want it. And the reactionary Republicans who've been fighting Obama, they're going to fight Clinton. They're even going to fight Trump if he wins. We're going to get pushed to the bottom of a heap here in DC. So I present myself. I have not run before. I've worked for other people. I need a campaign manager. I need some money. I need people to work with me, and I will work with you. I know a lot of folks. I've worked in media. I think we've got the tambourine fried chicken church crowd. Sometimes the people that the Green Party hasn't brought in. I believe that we can expand this party, and no matter what the outcome, we're going to win because more people are going to know about a party that wants to defend the poor, the vulnerable, and the black, the white, no matter what shade of color the Green Party supports. And I can tell you, having worked for the Republican Party, it's for rich people in Ward 3. I'm telling you, I work for the DC Republican Committee. The Democrats, I don't even know who they're for. And they've had the power all these years, overwhelming preponderant numbers in every office. What have they done for the most vulnerable people in DC? Last comment, I want to fight for 15. I'm a city contractor being paid 13, and it should be $13.85. I'm in dispute with them. We need, that's not enough. And so aside from that, the last comment, the same mayor that wants this top-down change for the Constitution, which I think as a party we should find some way to have a counteroffer of what should be as a collective to show that we have muscle. I also am very concerned that one of the key core values of this party is to defend the poor and needy, and the mayor has an axe like Ronald Reagan and blackface and drag, wants to cut off some 16,000 people, mostly
Good
children.
evening, library customers. The time now is 8:15 p.m. Library will be closing in 45 minutes at 9 o'clock p.m. In 30 minutes, the low exit doors, including meeting rooms, study rooms, and bathrooms, will be closing. I repeat, in 30 minutes, the low exit doors, including meeting rooms, study rooms, and bathrooms, will be closing. If you are returning to check out, please proceed to the checkout counter at this time.
I'll be done in 30 seconds. So I'm concerned about poor people. I grew up going to St. Elizabeth's where my mother worked there, and also my father had an urban ministry to young people in 8th Street Northeast back in the 60s and 70s. I haven't changed, and I know if I'm empowered to be a representative for the Green Party, you will be proud of me. Thank you. I want your support. Thank you.
We have two more candidates, so very briefly, any questions for Dr. Randy Short? Lena Ostracuzzi.
What part of the city do you live in?
I live in Edgewood.
And that's Ward 7?
Huh?
Is that Ward 7?
No, it's Ward 5. It's
Five,
near
okay.
Catholic University, near Rhode Island Avenue Metro Station.
Okay.
Eckington is also the name, just north of Noma.
Okay.
Other questions?
And I've been in DC born in an elevator in George Washington University Hospital.
Is that true?
That is true. He was in a hurry to get here.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Short, I appreciate it, and we're looking forward to having you in the process.
Thank you.
Full
Vote for me.
disclosure, I've known Dr. Randy Short since I was about this high. He worked for my mother, so it's good to have you in the fold here. So since that was at large, G. Lee Aiken, would you like to go next?
Today I'm not in my usual green because I was at DCTV getting my 3-minute statement read, and they will not let you wear green because the walls are green.
Wow.
So I decided to come dressed as I went on TV then. This will be the 3rd year that I'm running for DC Statehood Green Party at large. And I think what I'll do is I'll read my 3-minute statement, and then I would like, there's only so much you can say in 3 minutes. But if there's other key
7-9.
points that you feel should be covered as I go around to the various forums and like, then I would like some feedback on that. And then I would also like to report on 1 or 2 other things briefly. Okay. First of all, hello people of Washington, D.C. My name is G. Lee Aiken. I'm at-large candidate for your D.C. Council in the Statehood Green Party primary. If I win this primary, I hope you all will make me one of your 2 at-large council votes. 2014 was a very good year. D.C. was gaining 1,000 people a month, and the murder rate dropped to 100 that year. But what happened in 2015? The murder rate rose above 150, and in-migration fell to under 500 a month. The poison of all big development, all expensive housing, all gentrification is driving all low and moderate income workers outside the city. Our recent metro shutdown, happened again today, showed how dangerous council actions continuing that trend will be. Fewer firemen, teachers, police, hotel, restaurant, or hospital workers present in an emergency. Why should you vote for me in June 14 or November 8? I have lived in DC over 50 years, worked, married, had children, owned a home and car, strived to make this a better city for all. Many problems you have experienced, I have too. Problems with DMV, Office of Tax and Revenue, Special Education, and DCRA. I have dealt with many successfully. In office, I would work hard to eliminate such legal and regulatory barriers or problems for all of us, also limit mindless gentrification. I have great sympathy for people on the bottom rungs of the economic ladder, so we must strengthen our social programs for food, housing, and health. I also believe most people want a hand up, not a hand out. Thus, we need strong programs of vocational, remedial, and adult education in our schools. Our underutilized schools should be used for that, not turned over to private organizations as the Walmart folks tried to do to us. We need lots more low-income housing, must insist developers keep their promises to build it, and take them to court when they don't, which apparently we never have, incidentally. We need strong reentry programs to help our 60,000 returned citizens, who with their families represent 1/3 of DC's population. I've spent 12 years working to right the wrong inflicted by losing tax parity with federal deduction rates when we got home rule in 1973. This really hurt low-income families, and probably one reason so many had to move to PG. When the Tax Revision Commission agreed, did our council vote immediately to increase DC deductions and exemptions to federal levels and put back $85 million into our pockets every year? No, they decided to dribble it in over 6 years. Think what $85 million in our communities every year would do for us and our small businesses. Instead, the council gives big subsidies to no big developers, like they're doing with McMillan Park, and sports billionaires, not justice for us. For details on taxes, green ideas, and bad government actions, read my blog, gleakinblogspot.com. Learn more and vote G. Lee Aiken in June and December.
Thank you, Lee. Any questions, quickly-ish? So one more person, questions, comments,
Well, I have two
feelings?
other things I want to say. I just wanted.
How much time do you
Have
have?
I missed anything?
3.5 minutes.
Perfect.
Have I missed anything?
Just one.
Please.
Is the elections in December or is it November?
November.
Oh,
Did I
okay.
write that?
You
Oh,
running in December?
No.
Alright.
I did this at 3:30 in the morning. So, yes. Okay, so did I pretty much cover all the bases for the issues we're gonna wanna work on? Okay, I'd like to report on two other things. First of all, I would like to say with regard to
Is
what
this
the
in the
mayor
order?
pardon?
Is this in order? It is not in order at all, actually.
What is in
Sorry, I
order?
wasn't paying attention. You're making a non-election related announcement?
No, these are, well, I wanted
Related
to
to your
comment.
campaign?
I wanted to comment on what the mayor is trying to do to statehood, because I'm very aware of that issue
We're gonna have
too.
a report on that.
That wouldn't be.
Well, we may not get there. I just
Okay.
want to give Lino a chance to report, so this is
And
not
then
directly
the other
related.
thing was, I wanted to report briefly on what I've been doing to campaign.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, that's
I-
a nice in run, but, so just go ahead.
I've gone to several different forums, and I most recently went to a forum in Ward 7 with a wellness group for senior citizens. And Don did a head count while we were there, and one of the issues I mentioned was the Schedule H, which I think we have some of the work of David Schwartzman to thank, finally made it into what the city is doing. And nobody had even heard of it. And I think we calculated that between what they didn't file last year and what they haven't filed this year, there was about $200,000 sitting uncollected in that room. And I'm making arrangements with that group to go back and do a workshop to get some of these people their money back.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate it. Lino.
Do it from here, or?
Whatever you prefer.